Hey guys, so this week for Stitch Club, we are going to do our sweet little heart for our cross stitch. And your kit is going to come with the cross stitch fabric, the embroidery thread, a needle, instructions, cross stitch instructions for beginners, and also the heart pattern. All these things will come in your kit, so you'll be fully prepared to be able to do your project. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we want to find the center for our cross stitch fabric. And how we're going to do that is that we're going to fold the fabric like this, and then fold the fabric in half again. This is going to be our corner. Now, our center. Now, notice also that when you get your pattern, this also can be folded to get your center. And on the side, it actually has the numerical line count, and at the top also. So you can also figure out your center that way if you do better with counting. We're going to start with this square here. Work across and down and around, and then finish up the heart back where we started. So it's actually going to be working clockwise around our pattern. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is that we have to take the first color, which I'm going to pick the purple, and each strand has 6 small strands in the individual strand. So you're going to divide that in half. And how you do that is that you grab one end, you count out the 6 strands, so each strand will have 3 strands, and you slowly pull it apart. After you do that, you're going to set that to the side, and then you're going to thread your needle. For time's sake, I've already got my needle threaded. That way we can begin. So let's begin. So we're going to find our center. So the center for me is going to be right here. And you start this by coming up through the front in the hole. You see each individual hole? Now my center is right here. Of course, finding the first hole is a little difficult, but that's okay, just take your time. I'm almost there. There we go. And always remember this. You pull this through, but you're going to want to leave a little bit out to tuck in later. About 1 inch to 1.5 inches is good. So let's look at our pattern. Our pattern says that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches from the center. So we're going to go ahead and do our 7 stitches. So there's our first stitch. And like I said, once you start, it's easier. Stitch 1, stitch 2. It also, listen, let me tell you, it'll help if you have a well-lit area. That way you can really see underneath the stitches. Stitch 3, and as you're going down here, just keep your count. There's 4. If you're having trouble also, you can turn it over to see the back if you need to. Stitch 5. Stitch 6. And listen, as you go along, I'm going to tell you, it gets a little easier once you get the hang of it and you get going in a rhythm. Last but not least on this one, stitch 7. Now, notice here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we're going to want to go back across. So that's exactly what we do. And once again, remember, you want all your stitches to go in the same direction. So notice how on this top stitch, all of my stitches right here, they're all on the underneath. So all my stitches here are going to be on top. So there we go. That's our first actual cross stitch right there. Then you're going to come back down here and go in that hole. Up in that hole. See how it's making the X? That's what our goal is, to make the X. We're following our pattern. When I get through with this, I'm going to show you the back because you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You want to make sure you get it in that hole. Let me fix that. I've got a little bit of a problem there. I want to go ahead and fix that. You don't want it, the back should look like the front. So you don't want to have a bunch of bunched up thread on the back. And don't get in a hurry. Take your time making your X's. That's going to make a better stitch. Okay, we're almost done with this row. The first row. And for the last stitch here, guys, we've got our first row. Notice how pretty that is. And look on the back. That's what your back is going to look like on the whole project. We're going to put this in later on. I'm just not going to worry about it right now. So next, what we would do, we would go down to the next set. But first we're going to count, okay? Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's go with 6 this time. Starting here and going across. Again, make sure that your thread doesn't get all bunched up. You really want it to look really nice and neat on both sides. Now, at this point in time, we're ready to go right back across. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to start going right back across until we get to the end. And when we get through with this row, we're going to go back down to the other row that's right underneath. And again, we're working clockwise around the pattern. Guys, I think you're going to have I think you've got the gist of this. If you need assistance, you can come by the library. We'll be glad to assist you. But it's literally counting the stitches, doing that many stitches, and going down to the next row. So our first row was 7. Our second row is 6. And again, we know what our back is supposed to look like when we get done. It's supposed to be very nice and neat. And guys, this is not hard. This is a really easy step to do. I'm going to show you that back again. There we go. See how it's looking? So I'm going to let you continue on. I think you guys are going to do great. Again, you're going to do the next thing. We count the next. And if you want to, you could actually even mark your row out as you go. That way you'll know where you're at next. So our next row would be 6 again, notice. Then we would go down. Here we would change colors, go back to purple. It's not hard at all. If you need assistance, come by the library and let us help you. Guys, so you can pick up your packet with all your supplies at the library, or if you would like, on April the 13th, weather permitting, we're going to have a patio stitch class together with these particular kits. So you could come and we could work together. We could show you how to do this on the patio at 4:30 p.m. So again, that's April the 13th. You can come by the library. We're going to have this stitch club on the patio at 4:30. Or if you can't do that, feel free to stop by the library and pick up a packet, which will be located in the teen room, or it also will be located at the end for the tweens. So we look forward to seeing you then. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you're going to have fun making your heart, and I bet it's going to turn out just great. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.